Hi everyone, it's Semide. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how thyroid problems can actually contribute to your hair loss. So I will be discussing symptoms, how to know if you have thyroid problems, and how to get tested. Keep watching to find out. So in the past, I have made a video series, a 3-part series about female pattern hair loss, androgenetic alopecia, which I will link right up here and down in the description below. I talked a little bit about the thyroid and its involvement in hair loss, but I wanted to delve a little bit deeper in this 3-part series right now that I'm starting. So the thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland right at the base of your neck, and it's primarily responsible for your metabolic rate. So it's kind of like a thermostat, and it can change your body's metabolic rate either up or down, or increase or decrease your energy output. It can also increase or decrease your heart rate and your temperature as well. There are 2 main types of thyroid dysfunction. You could be producing too much thyroid hormone, which is called hyperthyroidism, or you could be producing too little thyroid hormone, which is called hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism tends to be more common, and especially if you have androgenetic alopecia, adrenal issues, polycystic ovarian syndrome, then it's very likely that you might have hypothyroidism. Polycystic ovarian syndrome and hypothyroidism are very strongly linked, and I highly recommend that if you do have a diagnosis of PCOS to look into your thyroid as well, especially if you are having thyroid dysfunction symptoms. The most common type of hypothyroidism is actually autoimmune. It's called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. This is when your own T cells in your immune system are producing antibodies that attack the thyroid gland and therefore make it underactive, not producing enough of the active thyroid hormones. Environmental stressors can also contribute to hypothyroidism. This can be a nutrient deficiency, such as iodine deficiency, because iodine is so important in the production of thyroid hormones, as well as environmental toxins, mercury, bromide. These are all chemicals that can damage the thyroid, as well as radiation around your neck area. We live in a world today that is so busy and chronically stressed in so many different ways. We're eating these poor processed junk food diets. We are exposed to so many environmental toxins and radiation. And on top of that, we're expected to live working these strenuous 9-to-5 jobs and then raising a family, and no wonder we're all so chronically stressed and we've got all these chronic diseases, and one of the most common ones is hypothyroidism. So when you are stressed, your body is going to fight to keep you alive. It's going to conserve your energy, reduces your metabolic rate. So it's going to tell the thyroid, hold on, we're not going to produce as much thyroid hormone right now, and we're also not going to convert the inactive form T4 into the active form T3. As well, it can put the brakes on the thyroid, reversing it into reverse T3. So your body is really smart and it just wants to keep you alive. And if you are experiencing hypothyroid symptoms, then it's likely because you're under a lot of stress. The thyroid has a lot of different functions around the body, and when it is downregulated, that also downregulates a bunch of different processes around the body. So these are the following symptoms that you may experience if you have hypothyroidism: fatigue, feeling cold, especially in your extremities, hands, feet, weight gain, difficulty losing weight despite changes in diet and exercise, dry skin, constipation, muscle cramps and aches, depression, irritability, poor memory and concentration, irregular menstrual cycles or missing periods altogether, low libido. You may also experience a tightening sensation around your throat area. With hypothyroidism, often the hair loss is diffuse, so it's an overall thinning of your hair. Also notice that your eyebrows are thinning out, especially around the ends. Active thyroid hormone T3 is certainly essential in hair health, and when you don't have enough, when you have an underactive thyroid, your hair is going to go into the telogen phase, the falling out shedding phase, much faster, much earlier. If you suspect hypothyroidism or an underactive thyroid, then a very simple test you can do at home is charting your basal body temperature And I have a basal body thermometer from Natural Cycles, and it has 2 decimal places, so it's quite accurate. And all you're gonna do is, as soon as you wake up in the morning, before you've eaten anything, before you've gotten up, or drank anything, just take your basal body thermometer and take an axillary temperature right under your armpit. So your axillary underarm temperature should be anywhere between 36.6 degrees Celsius and 37 degrees Celsius, and that is in Fahrenheit 97.8 degrees Fahrenheit to 98.2 degrees Fahrenheit. If you find that consistently your temperature is under this range, so in Celsius it's under 36.5 or in Fahrenheit under 37.4, then you probably have an underactive thyroid. So if your symptoms line up with hypothyroidism and on top of that you're having a low temperature, then it's a good idea to go get tested. And now if you're gonna go to a regular conventional doctor, as I went to my family doctor and I asked for a thyroid test, they're probably only going to give you TSH. This is thyroid stimulating hormone, which is produced by your pituitary to signal to the thyroid to produce thyroid hormone. Testing thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, is not enough. You could have normal thyroid stimulating hormone levels, but you can have thyroid dysfunction. I had to beg my family doctor to give me the full thyroid panel, and in the end he wasn't able to give the full one, but he did order T4, T3, and I think one of the antibodies. And turns out my TSH was completely fine, but my T4 was too low and my T3 was too low. If I didn't ask for those hormones, then I may never be completely sure that I have thyroid issues. Therefore, it's really, really important that you get the full thyroid panel done. So you want to test TSH, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and also the 2 antibodies, anti-TPO and anti-TB. Now you're gonna have a full picture of what is happening in your thyroid. And in the next video in this series, I'm going to talk to you about generally how to interpret your tests and why it's so important to interpret these tests properly, because often so many people are being told that their thyroid is normal, that they have no thyroid dysfunction, but yet they're not feeling so great. They're having all these thyroid symptoms, including hair loss and fatigue, and they're having trouble losing weight, but their doctor's like, no, we're fine, no thyroid issues. No, they're just not interpreting it properly. And it's so frustrating because so many people could be getting better if only their doctors knew how to test and how to interpret. That's why I am producing this series for you guys, so that you can embark on this journey where you are healing your thyroid. If you're experiencing hypothyroid hair loss, then chances are if you heal it properly, then it's going to reverse the hair loss as well. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Honestly, it means so much to me when you like my video and comment and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe so you can get notified of my next hypothyroid and hair loss video. And I'll see you guys then. Take care. Bye.